Alright, so a brief overview about weighting grades. I have in the Blackboard tutorial for faculty a whole column area on weighting grades, but I need to redo it because it's all text-based and nobody likes to read. So we're going to start out in our full grade center. So I'm just going to go in there, and these are faculty members, so I don't have to worry about FERPA. But what I do want to do is look at my final grade column. I don't know if I have one in here, so we can add one in a minute. But the first thing we have to do when we're doing weighted grades is define our categories. So if you want to do essays as being a category and attendance or weekly work or whatever, we have to set our categories up first. So I'm going to come into this Manage button in my full grade center, and I'm coming down to categories. There are categories that I've added, which are here with these little check boxes. These other categories are built into Blackboard, so we don't get to do anything with that. But I can take any of these categories and if they're already created, I can say home and classwork and homework. So let's say that we want to pretend this one is essays. So I'm going to come in and I can use this drop down chevron to go to essay, to edit, and then we'll call this one essays and submit. So what we can do is, as you are creating assignments, they're going to need to be in this essay category if that's what they're doing. All assignments will automatically fall under this assignment category. So we'll get to that in just 1 minute. But once we've got our category set up, and I can create as many categories as I want to, all I have to do is click OK. Now let's say we have added an assignment and it's in the assignment column and we need it to be part of an essay category. I would come to this Manage, Column Organization, and then I could find, let's say, this YouTube video right here. It is in the assignment category, but I want to change it, so I would just check mark this box and then change this category to essays. That way we keep all of our assignments and our activities grouped the way that we want them to group. And we can do multiples. So like if I want to say some of these tests are now going to be home and classwork. Okay, so I can do all of these things, select multiple things, and then change the categories, no problem. When I'm all done with making changes, I hit Submit. And takes me back out into the full grade center. Here is my weighted grade column here. So the last step is telling Blackboard how much these categories should be weighted as. Okay, so first we set up our categories, then we arrange our assignments into those categories. So they're funneled, essays get funneled through the essays category. And then the last part is weighting the columns, weighting the grades. So under this weighted grade column, I'm going to click on this drop down chevron and go to Edit Column Information. I can have the primary display as a percentage and the secondary display as a letter, which lets people know where they're standing. But down here is, in section 3, is where we can add these categories. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these because you won't have them already there. There we go. So these are all of the assignments that are in this class, tests and everything like that. We're just going to ignore those. Sounds strange, I know. So we can have, these are our categories that we've set up. So if I want tests to be part of this weighted column, I would select, highlight this, and then move it over. and then move it over to this selected column areas. We have to use this arrow, or else it's thinking we're taking these assignments. So we're just going to head, here's our test. We can say our tests are worth 20% of the grade. I can find home and classwork. And this can be worth 30% of the grade. And it keeps a total weight down here. So I can say the last thing I want to do is participation, which means they come to class, and that's going to be 10%. And it's whatever you've got it set up on your syllabus. Sorry, brain just fried for a second. So pull over essays last, and this is going to be 40% of my grade. Then all I have to do is hit submit and pretend that I find that YouTube assignment. So here's my YouTube video, and I can say this person is now getting 40. My weighted grade shows that so far he has an 80% off of everything else that he's done. So this will automatically funnel all of this stuff up. I don't know how many points this was worth. It was worth 50. So if we have a 50 in here, it will automatically match him up to a 100. So you can see then how the grade will change in the weighted column depending on the funneled information. So if I give this guy a 40 again, it now goes down to an 80%. And Blackboard does all of the math, so you don't have to set up any formulas like you will in your spreadsheet, but it's going to do the exact same things as you want aside from that spreadsheet, so you don't have to copy and paste everything in. So that's the down and dirty on creating weighted grades. We create our categories. Then we make sure that our assignments that we have are aligned to those categories through that manage column organization. And then we set up our weighted grade total by going into editing column information, selecting the categories, and then giving them the grade weights. And that is a brief explanation of how to do all this. And again, if you have any questions or need to schedule some time with me, feel free to do so.